Welcome to Center Heights Productions. Please hit the likes and subscribe down below in your right-hand corner. Muchly appreciated. Uh, Share the video as well. Tell your friends and family. Hit the like, subscribe. Muchly appreciate helping it to where you can get reviews of the games and insight into what's going on in Habs land with the facts. And we don't tend to run off of Rumorville. We try to avoid it as much as possible. So until something becomes that it's a legitimate rumor, that's the only time I usually go there. All right. So as we said, first preseason game, Flyers were in Montreal. Now the Lonnie line was number one line tonight. They had two rookie lines. Yeah, and two. They had the Anderson line was the other veteran line compared to the Doc Lonnie line. So anyway, as we go, we're going to talk about standout stuff. First, we'll go to the stats. No scoring in the first period. We took a lot of penalties in the first period though. Second period, we finally opened the scoring with at 8:18. Nice shot by Luke Tuck. Great steal by Jared Davidson. That was a very nice, and really for me, unfortunately, Tuck this picked Tuck's game up, but for me, these two should go to the AHL at this point. At this point now, mind you, they're going to get one or two more shots. I did notice Tuck's game picked up after he scored. Davidson, that was really the only big play I seen out of him, and other than that, he didn't do it for me. We got to the third period, and this is where the Canadians opened things right up. At 3:06, David Savard, assisted by Jared Davison again. He was in on it. And Lane Hutson. Lane Hutson set the play up. Nice passing play. And at 3:56, we got Emil Heineman, assisted by Alex Barre-Brulé and Oliver Kapanen. That was a solid line. They had a good game all the way through. 5:39, Josh Anderson and Waugh finally got going in the third. They were having a hard time connecting. It seemed to take a while, and both of them had a good, an all right game. And Logan Mailloux got an assist on that one as well. And then at 17:45, the fifth goal, Alex Burley, assisted by Emil Heineman and Oliver Kappen. And then the stories, okay, we're going to give you the stats, then we'll go into the rest of the details. Shots, 25. So this was a close game. 26 for Montreal. Hits, 27-34 for Montreal. Faceoffs, 31-25 for Philly. Power plays, nobody got power play goals tonight. And Philly should kick themselves. They had plenty of power plays. So don't know how they didn't score. Penalties, 8 for Flyers and 10 for the Habs in minutes. Penalty minutes, that is. Giveaways, 14 for the Flyers, 16 for the Habs. Takeaways, 11-9 for the Habs. Blocked shots, 17-11. The Flyers did better in that department. All right, so penalty minutes first period. We got Lucas Condotta, 2 minutes for unsportsman conduct, 37 seconds into the game and it was a good penalty he took. He came to rescue. It was a hit that Enstrom took, big hit from Desharnais, and there was no doubt that, or Delorier, or whatever. I think it's Desharnais, sorry. Anyway, Philly's big, tough guy, and he would have never won. He dropped the gloves, and the veteran didn't, and it kind of gave him a double minor. And Alex Barre-Brulé served the second part of it. Okay, so Lucas Condotta, 2 minutes for roughing. All right, and then we had Nicholas. Yeah, it was Nicholas Delorier. Yeah, he got 2 minutes for roughing for the hit he put on Enstrom, but he was smart enough and didn't drop the gloves. Although he would have killed Condotta. But you got to give Condotta credit standing up for his teammate. I like seeing that. And then Lane Hutson took one penalty at 3:43. 2 minutes. for high sticking, and then Ronnie Attard, 10:31, 2 minutes for cross checking. Anthony Richard, 10:31, 2 minutes for hooking. Jared Davison, 16:34. Um, looks like 4 minutes for high sticking. Yeah. And yeah, because he cut him open. I remember that's he drew blood. And then 18:33, Louis Belpedo, 2 minutes for slashing. And third period, no penalties. So no goals scored. Now we're going to get into the game. So very close in the shot departments as the goaltender split it. It was Primo and Dobish for Montreal, and I believe it was 13 saves for Primo, 12 for Dobish. Both played solid. However, there was a goal taken away for the Flyers. I'm kind of surprised it got taken away. I don't know if I'm in total agreement with it. I think the final score should have been 5-1 to tell you the truth, and that would have been on Primo. But they both still had solid games. But really, this game, Kapanen, what a note! He stood out all night long. This guy's a spark plug, and if Montreal doesn't give him a job, he deserves a role on the team. Don't care what anyone says. That's my opinion. Kapanen was phenomenal, and whatever it is, that line was beautiful. Kapanen, Barry Brule, and Heineman. And Heineman was what we wanted to see from him last year, and even in the game again, rookie games. This line gelled. This line was the best line on our team all night long. To be Kapanen, the plays, this guy's maneuvers, he is so fast, maneuvers, hitting the brakes back and forth, just losing the Flyers left, right, just like a magnet on the puck, winning his board battles. He was deadly all the time, always dangerous. A lot of those goals wouldn't have happened for Heineman nor Barry Brule without Kapanen started them all. But I mean, he was just when nobody else was on to that degree. Him and Heineman were on. Barre Burley came on later. That was a good line, good solid line. For me, that's what I wanted to see. Kapanen, that guy's got to be on the team. That's my opinion. If Heineman can play like that, he could get a role too. Montreal's got big decisions to make. Big if this continues. To me, you cannot not put Kapanen on the team. He deserves it. He's just stood out. He was phenomenal. Patrick Laine, even though that line didn't do anything, uh, him and Doc started gelling. Doc seemed a little slower to me, just a little more and easier to take down too a bit. But he was still gritty. He started coming on as the game went on. I think it's the rust of not playing, and you could see a bit of it in Laine. He had a great game. It's just a matter of time for that to gel. Newhook didn't impress me on that line. I'm sorry. I wasn't thrilled. He just didn't seem to fit. Sorry to say that. Lane was just in Lane. It was give and go with him and Doc all night. And even though they didn't cash in, they came close. Doc running one off the post, and Lonnie missed on a few and had some good opportunities. But his hustle breaking that line, he's going to be the one of the answers between him and Hutson of being able to get through the blue line when they want to carry the puck in. Um, Hutson, wow, phenomenal night. What can you say about Hutson? He was just outstanding. He looked great. The plays he was making, no doubt. He probably was the top Canadian with Kapanen right behind him, and that's how I would judge it. It would have been Hudson, Kapanen, and Heineman for me, and then Barry Brule, and then Lonnie. Although Lonnie was, yeah, actually Lonnie would have been before Barry Brule for me. He had a strong game. So now, if Heineman can, I don't know what it is with him. Kapanen did something for his game because Heineman actually had jump in his game. He was, I mean, between him and Kapanen, they were having a really good game, and Barry Brule started coming on too. For me, Kandata needs to go back to the AHL. That's one guy they can cut. Nothing against him. Don't take me wrong. Jared Davidson could go back. Um, Tuck, you can keep him around for another game to see. I just think anybody could have. Don't take that wrong. It's not a knock against him. It was a nice shot, but there. I can't see him taking someone's position right now. That's just the way I'm seeing it. So those two are guys I can see on the front line going back to Laval. I mean, Tuck, he can try him some more, see if he can get a little more. He needs to get a little more gritty for his size. Um, Next on defense, I found Enstrom had probably he had the most trouble tonight. Um, it was an odd game. He played well. Don't get me wrong, but he had some moments. He got hit hard by Delorier, and then he just had some moments. And I think number one, they got to get him and Mayu off the same line. The communication, you can see it. They were leaving the puck there, like they expecting the other guy to get it after they tip it, and they didn't because there was no communication. Those two are just not. And I seen that in a little bit of that in the rookie camp too against the Toronto rookies, and I just don't like those two together whatsoever. It just doesn't do it. So for me, Enstrom's not ready. Um, at the beginning of the game, I think Jack Eye was solid. And Savard had a great game, and we know Hutson was the best player of the game, so that's a given. Um, no Anderson, but although like I say, Kapanen and Lane for me. Kapanen was my favorite player tonight. That's just for me. I loved what Hudson did too. He was just phenomenal. We know he's so crafty. He's just excellent. Fun to watch. Very fun to watch his maneuvers. And Lane just wow. He has, even though he didn't connect on anything, he's got the moves. And when that line starts to gel, although I would like to see Wall put up on that line personally, I just didn't feel Newhook fit on it. For me, he was the weakest link, and I wasn't happy with his game tonight. Sorry to say that, and I don't care. I mean, I've got to know, we got to stop trying to play favorites here when the guy's not, he didn't have a bad game, but he just was very. He only started making some half decent plays in the third. Um, he just wasn't consistent through the night. To me, he was very quiet. Um, I found, like I said, I was saying, Waugh and Anderson, they looked okay through the night, but they got better in the third together, mustering up something. It took them a while to get going. They were having a hard time gelling with each other, but it started to come. Um, Other than that, like I say, I have to say, all seriousness, that for me, you got to have Kapanen on the team. There's no doubt. And for defensemen, like I said, we know Hudson, Savard, and Jack were all solid. Um, I found like I said, Enstrom, everybody was okay. But those three, the first three I mentioned, were solid. You could guarantee they had, there's still here and there moments, but not like the rest. Enstrom, he's a good player. He just needs to go and he needs to get some experience, more touches in the AHL. Instead of putting him in that log jam. Um, the game started off that just watching the competition that's going to be going on with whoever wants that job on the right side. Now, for me, I thought that Barron started off a little better than Mayu, but then I found Barron started having some issues, and Mayu started looking better. So that's a very, very close battle. Very close battle. There was, like I say in the beginning, I didn't like a play Mayu made when Enstrom made a bad errant, lost the puck at the line, and the breakaways coming in. And what I didn't like seeing from Mayu is I didn't see him try to get back quickly. He just kind of glided back. That pissed me off, seeing that. And that's why it was good to see his game improve as the night went on, because I think somebody had to have spoken to him, because he got caught up there with not to be able to support Enstrom. So, but he did improve, and where I just seen flip flops in, then Barron would get weaker, and then Mayu looked better. And Barron had a nice shot in the third period where he jumped in, but Other than that, he was just getting pressured really well in the third there. Um, and that's where I thought my U took. So that's going to be a really close, hard battle. Going to be a hard fought battle. Um, I think that Mayu could win that, but he's got to make sure he takes out a couple chinks out of his game. Um, sorry, it's just the way it was. Like I said, the goaltenders were all right tonight. Mind you, you're playing a much weaker Philly team, as they're kids as well, and you could see it very clearly. And their second goaltender just did not fare well. Richard, he didn't fare well against us. First goaltender they had in wasn't too bad, but it's a close game. Well fought. I was kind of surprised Tortorella wasn't there, but anyway, he wasn't. So good game overall. Overall, it was a good game. They played quite well and they played like a team. And like I say, you can definitely tell. Give Doc and Lane both time, and that's gonna. They were starting. They had a lot of chances. There was some chemistry there between them, but a little bit of more energy in Doc's game, and that will come just because he was injured all year. I think when he's back into condition, you'll see that change a bit. But he still was good. But Lonnie really looked sharp. And now I think his shot can be corrected in practice. Just again, where he had injuries, again he didn't. He's probably a little rusty, and that was quite it. But his carrying the puck, wow, great effort. So it was a great overall team effort. But I'll tell you right now, I'm 100%. You have to have Kapanen on this team. I think Montreal's management has to make a move, and I would move two veterans out. That's just me. I would say I wouldn't want to hold Kapanen back. And if Heineman can keep up this, he could be in there with them as well, because those two got really good chemistry. They'd be nice to see on a fourth line together, as far as I'm concerned, or maybe even a third line, to tell you the truth, because they looked at half decent as long as they had a solid veteran. Like you put somebody like an Armia with them, they'd probably look half decent, or a new hook. I really felt that I would have put Waugh up on Lonnie and Doc's line and gave it a shot, because I just didn't like what I seen at a new hook tonight. Not that there wasn't any effort. It just didn't seem to click. Hopefully, and now maybe that'll pick, picks itself up as the season goes, of course. It's only game one preseason. So, very good game overall, but got to have Kapanen. That guy deserves a spot. If he can keep playing like that, he looks like a veteran. And he's got so many moves. It's like having Lane Hutson up front with his shiftiness. Those two look good together. To tell you the truth, they both were dangerous all night, even, and then Lane as well. So you had three guys that were super dangerous all night. Um, Loved what I saw out of them. He's got to stay, and like I say, whatever it is, with the chemistry he's got with Heineman, he's the effect. He's brought a jump to Heineman's game. That's what we wanted to see out of Heineman. Those two just looked really solid. And I mean, but Barry Burley looked good too. So there's some issues there. I mean, I don't know what you do there. Um, but I'm sorry, I'd be looking to try to unload a couple veterans that are, if there's a way. Yes, Josh looked better tonight. I hope that continues. But if you could unload a couple veterans that are down in the bottom six, I would do so and go with it, because I don't think you want to hold these kids back. I think it's time to let them start getting touches and get them in. They're still in rebuild. You're halfway through the rebuild. Let these kids have their position. They deserve it. So go Habs, go. Go Habs, hey, tickle pink. This was an awesome game for a preseason game. It was very entertaining, and you could see there was bad blood. And the boys played well. We'll see what the second group can do tomorrow against Jersey. We'll get to see the first line, the actual first line. That'll be interesting to see. And we'll actually get to see Evans' line. and I'm sure we'll see a couple rookie lines. But like I said, I think Kandata, Davidson, and Tuck should be sent to the AHL as far as the forwards, and Enstrom from the defense. And it's not a knock against them. I just think they need more time in the AHL to bring their game around. So thank you for joining me. Please hit the like, subscribe down below in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciate. Share the video, the tape with your friends and family. And again, like I say, remember this was like a coming out party. When they said that Kapanen was ready for the NHL, his coach said it, Jokinen, he was 100% right. This kid belongs in the NHL. And if I'm Hughes, you can't keep him out. Even if you got to waiver one of the forwards, do it. I mean, I'm sorry. I think it's just enough's enough. You can't hold these guys back. And tonight, him and Heineman were pushing as they want a spot, and he definitely's got one. And if Heineman can keep it up, he may have one. And I think if they do earn them, I think we need to make it. Our management needs to make it happen because these guys are going to be our future. So that's just the way I seen it. I like the jump they brought to the game, and that line just looked really, really, really good. So thank you for joining me, and we'll catch you when we review tomorrow night's game. God bless.